Good evening, welcome to another live feed on Shabbat Gentry channel. It's Hurricane Rubin Carter. Hurricane Rubin Carter was a gentleman. He was a boxer. He was born in Clifton, New Jersey in 1937 on May 6th. He was a great fighter. He won 27 fights, lost 12, fought 40 times. What he's known for what happened off the field, away from the ring. Unfortunately, he was accused of murder. He passed New Jersey. I'm going to get into it. That's why when you look at the thumbnail, whoever comes to the thumbnail, they'll see a picture of Hurricane Rubin Carter. And it's a picture that came from a Sports Illustrated issue back on October 14th, 1963, because that's when Sports Illustrated was a big time magazine, a big time publication. And they had an article done about Rubin Carter. And he had the look that he had, kind of resemblance of, a Sonny Liston. Like they was comparing him to Sonny Liston, saying he's the new Sonny Liston. Very interesting comparison, because the look that he had, that demeanor, that menacing look on his face. And that's the thing about it. That's why I want to put that on the thumbnail. Once you get into the thumbnail, you see it, it's Hurricane Rubin Carter. He was a boxer, professional boxer. He was a boxer that fought in the middleweight division. And but he's known for what happened off the court, away from the ring, instead was in the ring. So he had some big fights, but it was about what happened outside the ring. And this gentleman represented a baleful look of a new Liston. You look at his face, this is what it looked like a Liston. There's an article that was written by Leonard Schechter from the October 14th issue of Sports Illustrated. It's very fascinating because he's from Jersey. He was born in Clifton, New Jersey. He grew up in Paterson, New Jersey. And this article features, New Jersey, and especially in Paterson. His growing up, his upbringing, So I wanted to talk about that first before I get into, what happened in 1966, because it's the 60th anniversary of what happened in Paterson, New Jersey, at the Lafayette Bar and Grill. And thanks for the 20 people that are tuning in. Appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Completely appreciate it. I'm talking about Hurricane Rubin Carter. Yeah, so in the article, it talks about growing up in the streets of Paterson. That's where he grew up at. Again, he was born May 6, 1937. His early recollections are of Passaic, New Jersey. And when he was 7, his family moved again to Paterson, New Jersey. So this is a lot of New Jersey stuff written in this article about Rubin Carter. That's where he grew up at. He grew up to be a fighter in the streets of Paterson. He said that I was fighting one of those country fellas, from the South. I knocked him out. And his friends said, okay, we'll be back. I knew they went for guns. So I went home and got my shotgun. They came back. One of them had a shotgun. One of them had it. Because I walked out on the street, just like in the movies. I was fool enough, so I didn't believe I could die. That's when the riot squad came. Stuff like that in the article. So it's a very interesting piece. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's going to include New Jersey, Paterson, and Clifton. It was included in this article. Yep. This is from the October issue, Sports Illustrated. So it shows you, how big Sports Illustrated was. Sports Illustrated was a big issue back then, big article, big publication where people can, check out the articles and the stories are such, incredible. But to do on a guy like Rubin Carter was just interesting because, he was not a big fight. He was not, yes, he fought some big fights, but he wasn't, Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston. But they compared him to Sonny Liston in the article. They compared him to Sonny Liston. He was compared to him because of the look that he had in this issue of Sports Illustrated at the time. From October 14th, 1963. Now, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, but he was featured in an article for Sports Illustrated about him. Like, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the 23 people tuning in. Thanks for hitting the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So now I'm going to get into why I want to do this live feed about St. Liston 60 years later, as you can see in the thumbnail. Because again, 1966, he was accused of murder, wrongfully accused, something that he did not do. So we're going to break it down for those who are new, not familiar with Hurricane Rubin Carter, the boxer. He's going to get into his life and get into why I'm doing this, because it's all about what happened away from the ring, outside the ring, and what led to, his profile rising as much as it did. We're gonna see. We'll get into that. Okay. Here we go. He passed away, unfortunately, Rubin Carter in 2014, so he's been deceased since 2014. He was a middleweight who was wrongfully convicted of a murder that he did not commit. That's why he became as big as he was, because of what he was dealing with. He spent 18 years in prison and 4 months in prison. He was wrongfully convicted. He didn't kill the people that he was accused of killing. He's a middleweight fighter. He's the Hurricane. He was orthodox with his stance. He fought 40 times, won 27 times, had 19 KOs, 12 losses, and 1 draw. But in 1966, Carter and his co-accused John Artis was arrested and for a triple homicide, which was committed at the Lafayette Bar and Grill in Patterson, New Jersey, United States. So the killings took place at a car carrying Carter, Artis, and a third man who stopped by police outside the bar as they were on their way home from a nearby nightclub. They were allowed to go on their way, but after dropping off the third man, Carter and Artis were stopped and arrested while they were passing the bar a second time 45 minutes later. So in 1967, they were convicted of all 3 murders and given life sentences. The sentences were overturned in 1985 on the basis of prosecutor misconduct, dubious eyewitness testimony, and prosecutors appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, but declined to retry the case after the appeal failed. So Carter's autobiography, titled The 16th Round, while he was in prison, was published in 1974 by Viking Press. Even Bob Dylan in 1975 made a song called Hurricane in tribute to him. Then in 1999, there was a movie called The Hurricane that came out that starred Denzel Washington. That's Rubin Carter. So from 1993 to 2005, Carter served as executive director of the Associated Defense, wrongly convicted, later renamed Innocence Canada. 2019, the case was a focus of a 13-part BBC podcast series, Hurricane Tapes. The series was based on interviews which were conducted with survivors, case notes which were taken during the original investigations. 40 hours of recorded interviews of Carter by the author Ken Kolkonsky, who cited them in his 2011 book, The Eye of the Hurricane. So that's the thing that makes this thing fascinating, because of what took place. In Patterson, this is what happened in Patterson, New Jersey, man. This is what took place. This is what went on. That's why I wanted to talk about it, not just his fighting career. Yes, he had a chance to win a championship, or his weight class. I don't think he ever won a championship. But he was pretty good, man. The Ring magazine first listed him as one of the top 10 middleweight contenders in July 1963. At the end of 1965, they ranked him as the number five middleweight. So he was doing his thing. He remained ranked in the lower part of the top 10 till December 20th, when he surprised the boxing world by flowing past the future world champion Emil Griffith twice in the first round, scoring a technical knockout. Then that resulted in the ring ranking Carter as the number 3 contender for Joey Jardello's world middleweight title. Carter won 2 more fights, one against future heavyweight champion Jimmy Ellis in 1964 before meeting Jardello in Philadelphia for a 15-round championship match. On December 14th, Carter landed a few side rights to the head in the first round that left Jardello staggered, but was able to follow him up. He took control of the fight in the 5th round. The judge absolutely favored Jardello. So I don't think he ever won a championship. I don't think he ever won a belt. This is what he was known for, man, that wrongful conviction. And all this took place again at 2:30 a.m. on June 17th, 1966, which is next month. The 2 men entered this Lafayette Bar and Grill in Pasadena, New Jersey, and began shooting. Bartender James Oliver and customer Fred Noyaux were killed immediately. Hazel Tannis died in the hospital a month later, suffered multiple wounds from shotgun pellets. A third customer, Lee Marines, survived the attack despite a head wound that blinded him in one eye. In question, both told police the shooters had been blackmails. Both neither identified Carter or John Artis. 10 minutes after the murders, around 2:40 a.m., the police cruiser stopped Carter and Artis in a rental car returning from a night out at the night spot, a nearby bar. Carter was in the back, with Artis driving the third man, John Royster, in the passenger seat. Police recognized Carter, a well-known controversial local figure, but let him go. Minutes later, the same officer solicited a description of the getaway car from 2 items outside the bar: Patricia Patty Valentine and Alfred Bello. Bello later admitted he was in the area acting as a lookout while an accomplice, Arthur Bradley, broke into a nearby warehouse. At the time, he claimed to have discovered the bodies when he entered the bar to buy cigarettes. Also transported that he took the opportunity to empty the cash register counter of the police as he exited. At the trial, he testified he was approaching the Lafayette when 2 black males, one with a shotgun and the other with a pistol, came around the corner. He ran from them and they got into a white car that was double parked near the Lafayette. Valentine lived above the bar and heard the shots. Like Bello, she reported seeing 2 black men leave the bar, then get into a white car. They reportedly described it as a white geometric design, some sort of little fly type design in the back of the car. New York State license plates with blue background on his livery. Around another neighbor, Ronald Madrero, also heard the shots and said that from his window he saw the Alfred Bello running west on Lafayette Street toward 16th Street. He then heard the screech of his tires and saw white cars shoot past heading west. 2 black males in the front seat. Valentine initially stated that the car had red lights when lit up completely at butterflies. The retrial, she changed this to an inaccurate description of Carter's car, which had conventional tail lights with aluminum decoration and butterfly shape. This aligned with the what provided by Bello for prosecution. Later suggested that confusion was the result of a misreading of a court transcript by the defense. Having dropped off Royster, Carter was now being driven by Artis. He was stopped again at 3 a.m. 3 o'clock a.m. and ordered to follow the police to the station when they were arrested. Stuff like that. So it wasn't just, Hurricane Rubin Carter, it was John Artis. They were accused of murder. So both were wrongfully accused. An all-white jury convicted both men of first-degree murder. And also produced witnesses who affirmed Carter and Artis were still in the night spot at the time of the shooting. But they were still convicted by all-white jury with the recommendation of murder, so they were not sentenced to death. even at the time, Muhammad Ali, in support to the campaign on behalf of Carter. Again, like I said, Bob Dylan, he co-wrote a song with Jackie Levy, a song called "The Hurricane" in '75, claiming that Carter was innocent. And Dylan performed the song at a concert at Trenton State Prison, where Carter was an inmate. So artist, he was on parole in 1981. Carter was 48 years old when he was freed without bail in 1985. Yeah, he was wrongfully accused of something that he didn't do. You know, that's why I wanted to talk about it. And he's part of popular culture. A movie was made about him, played by Denzel Washington, 1999. This guy's a New Jersey product of New Jersey. You know, that's why I wanted to do it. He unfortunately passed away in 2014 Hurricane Rubin Carter. I don't know if John Artis is still alive. The guy that was with him on that night. I can look it up. Let's see. Okay, he passed away. John Artis, the guy that was with Rubin, was both wrongfully accused of triple murder. He passed away 5 years ago. John Artis, he's deceased. Yep, this is a big time, situation at that time. He passed in New Jersey, particularly on June 17th. Next month, 1966, that's when the three people were shot and killed at Lafayette Bar and Grill. Artis was 20 years old, a local athlete. He was driving home with Carter and the third man when they were initially stopped by the police. They were allowed to leave, but after dropping off their friend, Artis' car was stopped again and arrested. So, despite the discrepancies from eyewitness standpoint, an all-white jury convicted both men in 1967. Assistance in prison. So, yeah, he passed away in Hampton, Virginia at age 75. Rubin Carter passed away in 2014. This was a big deal at that time, man. In Paterson, New Jersey, man. This was a big deal. I see a picture right here. And you look at John Artis, he was a forgotten man because he was overshadowed because, he's with a boxer, professional athlete. I see a picture right here of Rubin Carter getting out the car with John Artis in Paterson, New Jersey at the Passaic County Courthouse on May 25th, 1967. So just imagine how that big that story was at that time in '67. So that's what I wanted to do this live feed about him. I'm not gonna do no more live feeds. I might do some short videos, try to make it get some more subscribers. But like I said, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. Be back tomorrow. Do some things later on tomorrow. I may do a few videos, live streams. Try to get more subscribers. That's what it's all about. Thanks for hitting the like button. 2 people hit the like button today with this live stream. Looking forward to doing more content. Like I said, I'm not gonna do no more interviews that I did on my show. That I'm done with that. So I'm just gonna come up with creative ways to get more and more subscribers. That's what it's about. More likes and more supposedly more subscribers. So thanks for tuning in to Hurricane Rubin Carter. 60 years later, man. Next month will be 60 years. June 17th, him and John Arts was accused of something that they didn't do. Went to jail for it. Anyway, it's happening to pass in New Jersey, man. 6 City. Till then, talk to you tomorrow.